Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're not just reviewing a book. No, we are stepping right inside the hauntingly beautiful and, let's be honest, deeply unsettling world of H.D. Carlton's haunting Adeline. This isn't just a story, folks. It's an experience, and we're going to unpack it all together.
And this single line, it pretty much captures the entire heart of the story. It's that central conflict, right? That terrifying tightrope walk between pure fear and, well, intense fascination. It's a chilling, seductive invitation into the dark, and you just can't look away.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our journey begins at Parsons Manor, and let me tell you, this house is so much more than just a backdrop. It's a character all on its own, just steeped in Gothic mystery, whispering secrets from its walls. It's really setting the stage for everything that's about to go down.
Okay, so before we go any further, we have to talk about what this book is. Haunting Adeline is the quintessential dark romance, and the author, H.D. Carlton, is super clear about this. This genre is not for everyone. It's all about finding beauty in the terrifying and romance in the forbidden. It really forces you to confront some really uncomfortable questions about power, consent, and attraction. It's a genre that's meant to be challenging,
So Adeline inherits this magnificent house of secrets. I mean, just picture it. A massive, three-story Victorian home, famous for its black and white checkered floors that just seem to stretch on forever into deep shadows. And get this, legend says it's haunted by the ghosts of workers who died in a fire there. It's a place where family history and this palpable sense of being watched just hang heavy in the air. Super creepy, right?
All right, let's meet our main players. We've got these two central, kind of opposing forces at the absolute heart of this story. A writer who's haunted by her family's past, and the hunter who becomes her all-consuming obsession.
So on one side, you have Adeline Riley. She's an author, and she's moved into this old family manor looking for inspiration. Then, on the other side, you have Zaid Meadows, also known as the Shadow. This guy is a whole other story. He's a vigilante hacker, a digital ghost, a man who walks this razor-thin line between being a protector and a predator. His whole deal is hunting monsters in the city's dark underbelly. And he has just set his sights on Adeline.
And this whole thing, it starts subtly. Just a prickling sensation, that feeling of being watched at a book signing. But then it escalates. And I mean, it escalates with terrifying speed into this undeniable, all-consuming obsession. A shadow in the woods, a single rose left inside her locked car. Every new step, every violation, it's a message. It's a promise of what's coming for her.
Okay, so now let's get to the absolute core of this story. The twisted, intense, and deeply controversial romance that really defined this entire book. This is the part where the lines don't just get blurry, they completely dissolve into nothing.
So, from the stalker's point of view, this isn't some little crush. Oh no. It's a promise of complete and utter consumption. His goal isn't just to be with her, it's to become a part of her very being, to totally reshape her world until he is all she knows.
And the psychology behind this obsession, wow, that's what's truly fascinating here. It's not just about attraction, right? It's a calculated campaign. It's psychological. He knows she's going to fight it. He anticipates her resistance. Because, for him, that's a key part of this twisted connection he's trying to build. A bond built on that paradox of hating the very way you need someone.
And here's where we get a brilliant plot twist. It turns out, this dark fairy tale, it's not new. While all this is happening to her, Adeline discovers these hidden diaries. And in them, she finds her own terrifying story echoed in the words of her great-grandmother, Gigi, a story from decades ago.
Gigi's words, all the way from the 1940s, are just this chilling parallel that reveal the exact same conflict that Adeline is facing right now, that terrifying but magnetic pull towards her own shadow. It's such a powerful, haunting discovery. It really makes you wonder if this connection, maybe this curse, is woven right into her family's bloodline.
So just when you think you've got this guy figured out, right, you're thinking, okay, he's the villain. But then the story just pulls back the curtain and reveals something else entirely. It adds this shocking layer of moral complexity to our anti-hero.
So it turns out that this dangerous man, this obsessive shadow, he actually channels all that darkness into a brutal crusade against an even greater evil. He's the leader of an organization called Z, a vigilante group that hunts down and eradicates human traffickers. He's fighting real monsters.
And his life's work?
It's basically a violent, systematic war fought in the deepest, darkest shadows of society. Z isn't some small-time operation either. We're talking a global network of hackers and mercenaries. They don't just stop these trafficking rings, they infiltrate them and eliminate every single perpetrator with extreme prejudice, and then they rescue the victims, giving them a new life, totally off the grid.
And that really gets to his philosophy. This is the key to how he survives and succeeds in this brutal world. He doesn't just fight monsters. He becomes a bigger, scarier monster. He goes into the lion's den knowing he's going to walk out with their blood on his hands. That's his code.
So after this whole journey through obsession, darkness, family secrets, and some seriously brutal vigilantism, what's our final verdict? What's the big takeaway from this incredibly intense story?
Honestly, reading this book feels less like you're just observing and more like you're participating. It just pulls you right into its world and absolutely refuses to let go. It's an intense journey, for sure. It challenges your moral compass at every single turn and creates this powerful, unforgettable connection between two really broken people. It's not just a book, it's a whole emotional experience that stays with you long, long after you've finished.
And maybe that's the final lesson here. The story asks this really haunting question. Sometimes, the only person who can save you from a monster is a different kind of monster. What happens when the only person who can keep you safe is someone truly unapologetically dangerous?
So for its absolutely fearless storytelling, for the masterful way it builds this atmosphere of gothic dread and suspense, and for crafting a relationship so intense it feels like it's branded onto your soul, we are giving Haunting Adeline a 9.5 out of 10.
Now, if this story completely captivated you and you're thinking, I need more, well, we've got you covered. We highly recommend checking out The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. It's got that same intense anti-hero vibe, secret societies, really high stakes. Also, Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. It's a dark reverse harem romance with a whole cast of morally gray protagonists. You'll love them.
And really, that's what the book leaves you with. This lingering, provocative question. In a world full of monsters, who do you actually trust to save you? It's not an easy question to answer, and believe me, the book doesn't pretend it is.
And the story's final words, so simple, so chilling. He came for me. It works as both a terrifying threat and a dark, twisted promise. Just a perfect way to wrap up the entire journey.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the shadows of Haunting Adeline. Hey, if you enjoyed this explainer, please don't forget to follow and subscribe for more deep dives into the topics and stories that capture our imagination. We'll see you next time.